Hi everyone, Jen here for Country Craft Creations. And today I want to show you, if you watched my last DT haul video, you saw that I got this adorable Echo Park Gnome for Christmas, which is available in the store right now. And I got some of the single sheets. I have quite a few left, but I'm going to be doing something else with these as well. So I opted for the single sheets. There is a collection pack you can get and many other portions of this collection that you can get at the Country Craft Creations store. I did use a lot of the ephemera package, which is this here. I used a lot of it, so I'm just showing you the back there. And I did also use quite a bit of the 6x6 paper pad. There's also a mega pad of this where you get more paper than what's in this one. So for this little album, I will tell you, I don't have a tutorial for making this album, but what I will do is I'm going to be making the exact same album, maybe a couple little differences with one of the newer collections from Tamra's CCC papers, and I will have that probably after the retreat. So what I have done here is I've tried to keep my cover very simple on this album. The inside is extremely interactive and has a lot of fun stuff going on. So as you can see here, I've used parts of the paper. The solids I had, the coordinating solids pack that you get, is what I've used for matting. And I've used that here, a couple strips of the different colored paper. And then this is a wrapped piece of chipboard in the white that comes in the coordinating solids, one of the cut aparts. And then I just grabbed some buttons in traditional Christmas colors from my stash. My spines are this, and then the back continues to look just like the front. So I've also used some seam binding from the store for my album for the closure, but this also has a magnet closure. This is a trifold album with lots of different flips and flaps going on the inside. So I really wanted to make sure that it had a good hold, but that if you stuff it really full and you don't feel like that magnet's tight enough, you have a ribbon closure also as an option. So when you open this up, our first little page here has a nice little angled pocket. And like I said, I utilized a lot of the cut aparts and that ephemera pack. As you can see here, this is one of the ephemera pieces that you get. I've used a lot of them in these little paper, excuse me, this is a bifold, my little inserts. This one, I used a piece of scrap of the patterns and solids that I had left over, and I cut one of the journaling cards that you can get that come in the paper 3x4. I cut that down to 3 by 3 5/8 so that it would fit on here with a nice green border. And then of course the inside is that off-white paper. And then I've taken some, I happen to have this heavyweight cardstock with the paneled wood look in my stash, which makes for great just one sheet photo mats. So I made a couple of these throughout my book. This one is 5.5 by 5.5, and it has rounded corners. And again, I've used one of those fun little ephemera pieces on there, and one of the cut aparts down here. This pocket here is one of the border strips, and I've placed another fun little photo mat in there. And this is where my magnet is for this closure. And as you can see, this will close and stay closed. But once you put a lot of pictures and stuff in here, you may want to have, you know, this extra closure on here. Plus it adds a little something in gold to the album. So you have that pocket. Now when we open this all the way up, the middle section is where a lot of this happens. And as you can see, the way this is designed, this trifold, that it is easier to close if you put this paper, page section down first and this one on top, because when it pulls open, if you can see, it kind of acts like a hinge system there. So let's start here. This is really fun. So I wanted to use a lot of the different patterns in one area because it's just really cool to see them all right there. and they still all coordinate very well. So I have this little one here, and this is a magnet closure. Now I've used Graphic 45's tag and pocket die to make this mechanism here. And I've put a magnet inside of here. And as you can see, you flip this open and then you can flip it up again. Now you could close this way, or you can choose to close it like so. I use the larger basic grays, and so it's been plenty strong enough to add, to slip it either way. So we have a nice little spot here for a smaller photo. And then here's another one of the cut-aparts that I backed with that same heavy cardstock from my stash and rounded the corners. And I've used one of the little, I think these are like an 2-inch by 2-inch squares that come in the paper to make a little tuck spot for that. Then this flips open. We have a spot for photos here and a spot for photos here. And then this flips up and you have all that space up there for photos, and this fun little pocket page down here with some more cut-aparts in there. I tried to utilize as many of the cut-aparts in this collection as I could. And here we have just this fun little gnome that I adhered. It was a fussy cut that I was going to originally put on my cover, and then I just decided I wanted to keep the cover super simple, so I wanted to use these up. I had a couple of these fussy cut, and I went ahead and put it there. So then this opens up like so, and we have a nice page here, full 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. And after the matting, the page area for photos is 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. Here we have another one of those little fussy cut gnomes, one of the ephemera pieces, and another cut apart. These square ones are the 4 by 4s. And then you open this way, and here's that cute little gnome again, and we can open this up and have space for a photo here, space for journaling here. And I did not choose to put a magnet here. I may do that in the next one, or add a closure like the one on this side. I'm not quite sure. And then as you can see, when this is all closed, I put that little piece of ephemera that says Christmas Memories. And what I did was I just made a photo mat with a tab on the side using the We Are Memory Keepers tab punch board. You can add your own tab or cut it out however you like. And then I rounded the corners and just measured it to make sure that it lined up so that that little Christmas Memories was popping out the side. And I love how that turned out. So this last section here is the larger section of papers. And I did do this, the album was done in Tamra's lay flat method. And then the pages were done, I'm sorry, I forget her name, but the stack the deck method is what I used to create this page system here. And this one is just a 1-page system. So it's all one piece of paper, and then it has a 1/2 inch scored in the middle so that you have that nice little space. So here I have chosen to take a piece of the seam binding, and as you can see, this was slid underneath of here before I adhered this page system down. And I'll be sure to put that, mention the person that designed that stack the deck below in my video. Here I have this fun little cut apart that I took from the ephemera, and I backed it with the artisan craft cardstock, which is what I have used throughout this book for my pages, some of my photo mats, as well as the wrapping of the album itself. And it's also done, I will say, in heavyweight chipboard. And to do this, it takes 3 pieces of 6 by 6 chipboard, and then 2 pieces of 1 by 6 for your 2 spines. So here I have a couple more little photo mats. This is one of the tags. This one I did not punch a hole in. And we have that fun little tuck spot. And then this is also a magnet. So we have a magnet here and a magnet here, just some spots for the larger area for your photos. And then we open this up. And on this side, I have this little spread of pages. And we have this fun little cut apart that I've matted and then put on that craft artisan cardstock. And when you open this, this is a fun little spot that you could put a gift card or cash or anything you wanted if you were giving this as a gift. And that was the idea behind that one. This one is just a simple piece of the heavyweight cardstock. in the wood grain that I did at 4.5 by 4.5. Added one of the little pieces from the ephemera and one of the 4x4s to make a tuck spot. And to make these tuck spots is very simple. If you don't already know, we just glue along two sides. So whatever you're going to glue down, you leave the rest of this open and just glue along here. This next page is this whole look, and I have another cut apart mounted onto the Artisan Craft. Little tuck spot pocket there. This one I've used one of the ephemera pieces to make a spot for these fun little tags to slip in. And then we have this Be Merry ephemera piece that's also a tuck spot, and you could just slip a picture in there if you like. And this page is another one of the ephemera pieces used as a tuck spot. A couple little inserts there. And then again, we're mirroring the front with an angled pocket. And this is a fun one. Says, oh, what fun. You open this up, and this is the perfect size. I don't have one nearby, but I did test it. It is the perfect size to put a gift card in. So there's that. That is super fun. And then this is another of the basic 5.5 by 5.5 photo mats. I used one of the ephemera pieces, just like the front. And down here, I've cut a piece of that heavyweight cardstock with using a die from my stash and one of the ephemera pieces. So I'll show you really quick again how this closes. You want to tie this on this side. Like so. And then we're going to put this underneath this one. Don't press it down, because it will get bent if you do that. When you pull this together, it's going to close for you. So you can see now it hooks with the magnet and we tie it up. So that is my Gnome for Christmas album using the Echo Park papers for Country Craft Creations. I hope you get this paper and make some Christmas cards or an album. I will, like I said, be making this exact same album so that you have a tutorial for it in the very near future using some of one of the collections from Tamra, possibly a Halloween collection. I'm not quite sure yet, but I will be doing a tutorial for this going forward. Have a wonderful day and happy paper crafting.